right? So anyway, this is their family. And they live in China. And so Uncle Chen said, what are you going to name your baby boy? And Mr. Chen said, oh, we have thought of many names. But we ended up with this one name, which is Yuan. Yuan in Chinese means eternal peace. And they said that we're hoping that this new government, that they were like having a lot of political trouble at that time, and there's one leader that was going to come up, and they're saying that we hope that this new leader, new government is going to bring eternal peace. And so that's why they named him Yuan. Okay? One day, Mr. and Mrs. Chen, they own a silk business. Like they silk to the people. But one day though, when they were trying to get out of their silk shop, Mr. Chen saw his brother, Uncle Chen. And his brother was hurrying and said, our village are going to be taken over by the communists. And we are not happy because we have heard that the communists does not like businesses and stores. Because what they do is they want everyone to work in the factory, and everyone will have their share of food from the government, so the government's going to give them food. And so they don't like businesses because businesses are called capitalism, and they don't want that. That's the spirit of free enterprise, in which America is. That's what we are, and they don't like that because communists. They say that they want people to have a fair chance. You know, they want everybody to be fair. And so they get everything and then give a little bit to the people. So everybody, all the people will have an even share, which is little even share. And so they were going to go. His brother was going to go and leave and sell his business. And his Mr. Chen said, so where are you going? And Uncle Chen said, we're going to Taiwan. Now Taiwan is a neighboring place. It is now like a part of China, but before then it was separate. So we are going to Taiwan. And his brother said, what are you going to do in Taiwan? He said, I got so lucky. I'm selling my business for cheap because nobody wants to buy any business at this time. But I got lucky and I got a tea factory. You know, they sell tea, export the tea out to the other country. Side note, tea is very good if you're having a cough like me. Tea with honey and lemon is a natural cough suppressant. So that's the side note there. Anyway, so we're going to buy this tea business. Thank you. Thank you, Pastor Jeff.
Instant tea.
Instant tea. So it's very good. And so we're so lucky, so we're going to Taiwan. And his brother said, oh, okay, well, you know, they always say good luck in China, which is, we don't really believe in luck because we know God is in control of everything. But that's what they say, good luck. And so good luck to you. And so his Uncle Chen went to Taiwan, but they stayed. So Mr. Chen went on about his business in China. And Yuan grew, you know, from a little kid up to until he was 5 years old. When he was 5 years old, he started kindergarten. And he would go to the Chinese school, and they would all wear uniforms. And these children are being taught the communist way. Okay? And Yuan was very excited to learn. You know, when I was growing up, when I was a little kid, every summer when my mother would bring us and buy notebooks for us, you know, we could not wait to go to the first day of school where we can use those notebooks finally. And so it was the same with Yuan. He was so excited to go to school. So on the first day of school, you know, he's learning and learning and learning, and this teacher is teaching them, you know, the communist way. And he's like, wow, you know, everybody's equal. There's going to be like everlasting peace here. That's what he thought. And he couldn't wait to be 9 years old. You see, when you're 9 years old in China, you would be in their school, you would be able to join this communist club. Okay, so in the communist club, it's even more teaching. And in there is going to be training. You know, you're there, you're being taught on how to go up in the front and speak. And so his teacher said, okay, I'm gonna give you an assignment tomorrow. You are going to speak in front of the class and tell us why communism is very important. And and they have an enemy. Their enemy country is America. Do you know why they don't like America? Because they don't like the ideology of being free to do whatever whatever you desire to do. It's called free enterprise. You can buy, sell. They don't like that because communists wants to be in control. The government wants to control you. Now God has given us the freedom. Even in our in the language of our Constitution, it says we are endowed with by our Creator. Who gave it this to us? It's our Creator. And with the ability to pursue life, liberty, life, and pursuit of happiness. So they don't believe in that. And so America is, that's why a lot of people come to America, because this is where the place to be. Not anymore now, but that's the reason why we come here.
10 minutes.
But anyway, it's the land flowing with milk and honey, the land of opportunity. And so they teach them in the communist club that, the people in America, the children in America, all they do is watch television, and they are very wasteful about their food. They don't, they are so picky, which is true sometimes, right? They do a lot of television, they watch video games, and so that was what Yuan was talking about. And even his leader in the communist club was teaching him how to, do his speech, and he was so excited. And when he was done with his speech, after you're right here and you deliver a speech, and he was so excited, and he couldn't wait to go home and tell his mom and dad about it. But when he was going home, he was going to the shop quietly, right? But then he heard his dad talking to somebody in the shop, and he was like right here laying quiet. Standing quietly, and he overheard his dad talking to this man. And he just thought it was like one of the businessmen or one of the customers. But the other guy was saying, oh, your brother is doing very well in Taiwan. And he's like, oh, business is so bad over here, there's not a lot of customers anymore because all the people are working in factories. So when they work in the factory, they only get paid this much money, and they don't even have money to buy any more extra stuff like silk. And all they do is just get their money and buy a little bit of food and whatever, There's not a lot of food anymore because the people are in the factory, that nobody's planting and nobody's doing the, getting the food manufactured and all that. And the visitor said, well, your brother wants you to know that business is so good in Taiwan, he's even planning to buy a plantation. And he wants you to run part of his business, like the plantation side. And Mr. Chen is like, oh, that's very good to hear, because And Yuan was like in the distance, and he's like thinking, I couldn't wait to tell, in their communist club, the children were taught to spy on their parents. And to tell the communist leader about what their parents are talking about, that is anti-communist, is not, against the government, that is against the government. And so, even today, in China, when you are a Christian, and it is illegal for you to tell somebody about your faith that is below 18. So it has to be 18 and up, because you know why? The children, 17 and below, they're indoctrinating them. It's easier to teach a child about the Lord Jesus Christ than you teach an adult, because they already have been indoctrinated. So that was just another side note. Anyways, so his dad said, and then Yuan was listening to this, right? And Yuan was like, shocked because